What's up, millionaires in the making? Welcome back to another episode of the MITM Podcast, where we unlock success daily by journeying through the 6 pillars. I'm your host, Tye Aarons, the founder of the MITM Club, and today we're talking about the purpose of a budget, and it's not restriction. With that being said, run my intro.
Caught up in them bright lights, lusting for shiny things that's golden. Everything ain't always what it seems, that it's soaking. Chasing my dreams, coming apart at my seams. Best believe that the money is the motive.
All right. Welcome back to another episode of the MITM Podcast. And the purpose of a budget isn't restriction. A lot of people are like, oh, budget is so hard. It's the same thing as diet. People, I can't diet. Diet is just whatever you're eating. That's what your diet is. And your budget is whatever you're spending. That's what your budget is. Now you can choose to have control over your diet or your budget, or you can choose to let your budget control you, right? It's crazy. A little mindset shift that has to happen right off the bat. Now, budgets are decision-making tools. They're not control mechanisms. When we think about behavioral economics and personal finance, and we look at the research, a budget is defined as a planning and awareness tool. It's a way to allocate resources intentionally, not a system meant to suppress spending. The goal is clarity. You want to know what's happening. You don't want to know where things are going, why they're going that way. You don't want to be deprived. So many folks, I'm telling you, budget or diet, deprivation, can't eat what I want. I got to give up cookies. I always talk about cookies and chocolate cake because I'm a recovering chocoholic, guys. When people view budgets as restriction, they avoid them. But when you view them as a decision tool, engagement and follow through increase. It's so important that folks, and you know what, you guys can look at like Investopedia for some budgeting fundamentals, or you can watch the budgeting video that we have on YouTube. It's actually a webinar replay to help y'all, because we did talk in depth we talk a lot about budgeting within the MITM Club. Now, budget increases perceived freedom and control. When you budget properly, research shows that people who track and plan their finances report higher feelings of control and lower financial anxiety, regardless of your income level. The psychological benefit from predictability, not from spending less, actually helps you so much. Now, knowing what you can spend freely is more liberating than just guessing what you can spend freely. And later on be like, oh no, what did I do? For all of my entrepreneurs out there, I just gotta add this in. I know it can be very difficult to be able to budget when your company could be up 1 month and down 1 month and up 1 month. For y'all's gotta have an emergency fund for at least like 9 months. 9 months put aside so you can have that flexibility to still budget month to month and make sure that you're still good. Right, just as a little side note for all my entrepreneurs out there. Now, a budget protects what matters most. From a values-based financial perspective, budgets exist to defend priorities. It's not to eliminate your enjoyment at all. Now, without a budget, spending is driven by impulse, by marketing, because they spend millions of dollars to get into your brains to get you to spend a certain way, and emotions. Now, with a budget, money is pre-decided in alignment with your values. This reframes budgeting as permission to spend on what matters and protection against regret spending. Now, restrictions come from lack of awareness, not budgeting itself. Ironically, people who don't budget experience more restrictions, surprise bills, guilt after spending, inability to say yes to opportunities. Awareness will remove more fear. And fear is what creates the feeling of restriction in the first place. Like, if you're going to be a millionaire in the making, you got to be a good steward of what you have now so you can be a better steward of what you'll have later. Okay. If you actually look at, there's a resource, the Financial Therapy Association, and they go a little bit more in depth on money awareness and behavior around money. So y'all can definitely check that out if you want to go a little bit deeper into money awareness. And actually, one of my friends, Asil, she's a financial therapist. If y'all ever want to connect with her, just reach out and I'll get you guys connected so you can level up your money game. Now, budgets also reduce cognitive load and decision fatigue. I don't know if you guys heard of the book called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. That's the book title. And they say you only have so many decisions that you can make in a day. There's only so many things you can care about in a day. And if you try to do too many things at once, you have decision fatigue. You're not able to give your all, give your best to all of these different aspects in life. This is the same thing. When you have a budget, it reduces that cognitive load. And then the decision fatigue is not as much of an issue. Now, neuroscience and behavioral research show that pre-decided rules will reduce your mental strain overall. A budget can automate decisions so money choices don't drain your willpower daily. In this sense, a budget is like a workout plan. There's structure up front and there's freedom in execution. You just show up and do the reps. And in fact, with money, it's even easier than fitness because you barely even have to show up. You can automate most of it. You can set up your bank account in a way where $1 goes in and it gets put into different accounts, and those accounts get paid to different bills automatically. You don't have to think about it. It's very easy for all of my friends, all you guys that have a regular 9-to-5 job and you know what your biweekly income is going to be. Very easy for you guys to be able to do this and make things happen with ease. My entrepreneurial friends and my business owners, it may be a little bit different until you get the business up to a certain level and you have more stability. It'll be a lot easier to budget. But we're going to talk about how to budget with variable income very soon, because I know that's something that a lot of you guys that are starting your businesses, a lot of you guys that have taken the leap into entrepreneurship are going to deal with. I know it's something that I dealt with for a very long time. Heck, to this day, still understand the difficulties of budgeting with fluctuating income. So we'll talk more about that. But that pretty much wraps up today's episode of the MITM podcast. Sign up for the Money Mastery Dash while you guys still can. It's going to be an amazing 5-day program where we deep dive into helping you master your cash in 2026. And you can check out one of the webinars before that 5-day program starts. And afterwards, well, this year is the year for you to master your cash. So with that being said, thank you so much for listening to this episode. Remember to smash that like button, share with someone that you love, and I will see you tomorrow. Peace.
Give 'em that creme de la creme.